Hello everyone, this is Sabrina from glimmercraft.blogspot.com, and this is a presentation for Scrapbook Parade where I currently teach classes, and this is going to be a really fun project. It's a 2-volume card keeper, and we are using 2 albums from Bo Bunny. They are 9 by 9 inch, and they have the canvas binding and the chipboard that can be covered with whatever paper you want. And inside it comes with 6 tabbed thin chipboard pages. And because we are making a card keeper and Place and Time has 12 months to work with, and there's 12 months in a year, we need 2 binders because once you put all the cards and everything in, it gets a little thicker. So that's why we opted to go with 2 volumes. So for this first volume, I took a one of the tags on the last page in the 12 by 12 pad of Place and Time and cut it out, and then I used a black Jelly Roll pen throughout. Whenever there's any handwriting, that's what I used on the tabs and the tags, and wrote that down on there. I made the tassel. There's 2 tags, January through June. And because I don't have my second binder yet, I have everything else made, I just don't have the second binder. I have the July through December tag as well. And I used black embroidery floss to make those tassels on the tags. And another thing I wanted to show you was that this canvas that is on the outside is quite light in color, as you can see here. And I started to darken it here, and I thought I should leave it so I can show you the difference in color. And I used the Tim Holtz Distressed Ink Antique Linen to yellow it up and make it match the Place and Time colors of the background and the papers. And then in addition, I used the 12 by 12 pad, and these are 9 by 9 papers, so I would have a section left, you know, on the side or the bottom when I cut out the headers of the papers. So what I did is, for the 2 covers, I pieced what was left over to make a single page, and there was a little bit of a hole in the center, so I covered it by cutting out those mini calendars. And this one, it has January through June on the front, and then I also made another additional little frame using those pieces left over and put it on top of that sunflower paper, which I also used on the interior, as you can see here. That is not from Place and Time, it is from Happy Haunting, I believe it's called, and I just love those happy sunflowers. So I wanted it to be a surprise when you open up the album, which is kind of very natural looking on the outside, to be surprised when you open it up to get that black and yellow on the inside. And the cover, I have this open already, but the cover for the second album I have ready to go, and you can see it's very, very much the same. Just has the mini calendars July through December, and the tag that says Place and Time is a little different from the one on the first volume. But everything else is kind of the same idea. And I also wanted you to see what I did with all the months. You can't tell from here because it's too far away, but if I get another page, you can see that I used, you can see the shininess there. I used glossy accents on all the month titles per page. So another thing I wanted to point out is that to keep the class as simple as possible with all the cutting that we'll be doing and with all the different layouts, I've kept everything basically the same so that we wouldn't have all different kinds of measurements to cut with all the cardstock and etc., so that we'd be cutting and using the same things almost in the same way. There's slight variations throughout, but so when we go from page to page, you'll see that they're very much the same. So what I did is I cut this out, and I'm using this part here as a perpetual calendar. So you can write dates and names on there. You don't, so that it's can be used every year. And then this is a little bit of a pocket with 3 additional tags in there for writing overflow, or perhaps you want to separate how you keep your birthdays. Maybe you want to have family here only, and friends and acquaintances on the tags that can be changed as those change. Or maybe you want to have birthdays here, anniversaries here. It's entirely up to you, whatever you think of. I just thought it'd be nice to have the 2 different systems of a perpetual calendar on each page. Then on the back of the January page, then we have here a pocket that we've created to hold all the cards for that you need to write out for that month. Then there's an additional little pocket here, and in that additional pocket you can put in photos that you might want to enclose in your card, or perhaps you may want to send a gift card in the card. So you can put the gift cards inside here as you purchase them and have them ready to go. Or perhaps you just want to keep your stamps. There may be some other uses I haven't thought of either. And you'll notice that throughout the entire book I've used the same punch because I thought it went well with all the seasons and months of the year. And it's an old Martha Stewart punch called Botanical Scallop. And then when we look at February, you can see how similar the layout is with just a few slight variations. I had added hearts by using a heart punch with some of the cardstock. And as we turn the page, you'll see how much alike the layouts are. You just change things around a little here and there, where you put the stamps or any additional things. Then we have March. Look at those gorgeous colors, beautiful images. Same idea. Here I started using butterflies because we're getting into the spring and summer. So I used the Martha Stewart butterfly punch on some of those little bits of scraps. And here we have April. Here's the back. I added little banners there. It's just slight differences here and there. May. Beautiful, and still the same idea with the 2 pockets. June, last month for this album, you can see that I did things differently here. I pushed the image up and put some more things here and added stuff here. So just slight little differences. And the same 2 pockets. Let's go on to the pages for the next volume, volume 2, that I will add as soon as I get my second binder. So there is July, and there's the back side. I love some of those old images. They're just fun, fantastic. Here's August. I remember as a child seeing really old cans and jars and crates laying around with beat up labels, very much like those. It's nice to see them again. And here's September. And on here, because September is a long name and because the image came down so far, I didn't want to cover it, so I changed it by moving this over and having to use a smaller image rather than the larger ones that I've been using on some of the other pages. But it worked out just fine. And here I used banners between the stamps. October, a fun month for children. I personally would have preferred to see what they have on the November page, because in Canada we celebrate Thanksgiving in October, not in November. But it doesn't matter what month it is, because we should give thanks all the time. But beautiful colors, beautiful images. Same idea, same pockets, just slight variations. And then the last month, December, favorite time of the year. Great celebrations. So I have a few birthday cards that go in there. And they all wish that their birthdays weren't so close to Christmas. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me to have a peek at this 2-volume card keeper with place and time from Graphic 45 paper. It's going to be a fun class, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for joining me. Happy crafting!